So my name is Lalitha Gunturi. I am the new general counsel at Aras Corporation. I joined Aras at the end of February, so I'm relatively new to my role. So Aras is actually a PE-backed technology company. We are headquartered in Andover, Mass, with global employee base and operations. Technology is focused on the product lifecycle management software. I'm excited to be in this new role. Just a little bit about my background. I started off in IP. I have an engineering degree. I started my career as a law firm associate, working on patents, trademarks, IP transactions, and then moved on to do more IP diligence for M&A and IPO deals. Then I moved in-house. I've been at various technology companies in the Boston area, moving from IP to being more of a generalist. My most recent role was at RSA Security, where I was the deputy general counsel. Really honored to be able to join the board. I have been involved with the ACC for several years. First, more as a participant, kind of coming to events and learning more. And more recently, I got more involved with both the Women's Committee as well as the DE&I Committee. Both of those initiatives are things that are very close to my heart. I've been very involved with various bar associations. And in my own personal life, make sure I make time to mentor both men, women, and persons of color. My goal is to just continue that work as well as be a resource for other committees. I think also as a first-time general counsel, I would love to see more programming helping those of us like myself trying to figure out this new role. I've had so many ACC members being so kind with their time, reach out and congratulate me and already offer some words of wisdom. But I think a good initiative that the ACC Northeast could do, and I'm happy to help with, is to maybe come up with some sort of boot camp for first-time general counsels. At the beginning, you look at the event, there's so many events that the ACC chapter puts on, and look at what speaks to you, what is interesting to you. Everyone's busy. We all have a lot of things to handle. If you're not interested in a topic, don't sign up for that event. Sure, it's something that pertains to your life and your career. And then, once you kind of maybe attend a few events, then pick a committee or two that you're interested in. I found the leadership to be very welcoming. When I raised my hand to say I want to get involved in a committee, they were happy to get the help. And then I kind of expanded my network that way. And I think especially now, because, we've lived through COVID or maybe it's continuing, programming is easier, right? We have a lot of virtual programming. And for those of us who might have a hard time getting into the city, it's so much easier. You can do it from the comfort of home or, your office that might not be in the city. So I think any way you want to get involved, there are many options. I think there are two lessons that I personally learned from going through this. I used to be somebody who went into the office every day and I expected my team to as well. And then for 2 years when I was at RSA, I worked remotely completely. And so it was kind of a paradigm shift. We actually did a lot of hiring during the pandemic, and some of them were global. So, doing virtual interviewing and onboarding, we just had to do because it was in India and Japan, et cetera. Others were roles that I would have previously said, oh, you need to be in the office every day with me. And I actually hired quite a few remote employees because I realized you're as effective or actually more you can be with this flexibility. And so I think that's one thing, is just being more aware that people can work productively from anywhere. I think that also kind of forced me and others to bring our whole self to work. I think earlier in my career, I used to be very compartmentalized. That's home and this is work. And I'm a mom to 2 young kids. And so I think I used to think that if I talked about my kids or said where I was going, that people would view me differently. I think that the pandemic just forced me to be more open to what was happening because my kids were literally in my Zoom background. And so, and as a people manager, I think that really set the tone because people on my team told me, because you're being so open about your family obligations, et cetera, I feel like I can be more authentic too. So I guess I hope that everyone continues to feel they can do that and be accepted for not just their professional self, but for their whole self. And then there's the second thing it taught me is that I've always been located in corporate headquarters. And so I think that sometimes we get so caught up in who's in person that we sometimes forget about remote members of our team or people who might be in different sites. So when I was at RSA, my team consisted of people in Japan, in Europe, India, Singapore. And what we used to do is do these lunches every week for the people who were in the Bedford office. And when we went remote, we started doing them on Zoom. And I realized, why are we doing them in the middle of the day? If we did them at a different time, we can have our global teammates join us. And we started doing that. And they were so grateful. They said, for all the years that we've worked with you all, we never really got to know you at that level, because all the social things happened at whatever time. Everything that we did together were very serious work-related things. So I guess for global companies especially, I think just being mindful of the experience for remote employees and trying to be as inclusive as you can, even when we do return to the office.